matter how much you make. What matters is how much you're willing to save and invest. That's what's going to save you from anything. So, hello and welcome back to another episode of Ouch That Hurts. I am your host, Yolani. And in today's podcast episode, I will be talking more about here's what to do with your finances when you are broke. So without any more chit-chatting, let's get started. So the very first thing, do not take loans that you don't need. And I'm very passionate about this subject because I've seen so many people out there taking loans that they don't need. And it's very heartbreaking when they can't pay them back. So if you're a student and financial aid offers you some loans, don't take them if you don't need them. You will have to pay interest back. And that is a lot harder when you are trying to get by in life. Having debt, specifically student loan debt, it's something like being in jail because it's very hard to get yourself out. Interest rates are very high and you shouldn't take them. You should not take them. Number 2 is buy a car that is too fancy. And I would say fancy in the sense of like it needs so much maintenance. Get yourself a car that's going to drive you from and to your house. And that's it. Get yourself something that can get you from point A to point B and you don't have to spend so much money. All right? Don't stick yourself to the Hondas of the world and the Toyotas of the world, because if you get yourself into that Mercedes and that Lexus and the Porsche and the Lambo, then it's very hard to get yourself out there because these models and these types of cars are so expensive. They are European, and if you're an American, those are going to be so expensive. Those cars are expensive, let me tell you. Like, the car payments are so expensive. The maintenance is so expensive. You have to buy expensive gasoline for them. You can't go to any mechanic because not all mechanics know how to fix that car. And it just forget about being fancy. This is not about being fancy. This is about knowing your opportunity and knowing that you have the ability to get into a car that is safe and that it's not going to break the bank. All right. Number 3 is do not buy trendy pieces. And this goes to all my girly girls who enjoy fashion. Please do not wear something that is trendy. Don't buy something like a flamingo suit or something that you're never going to use. And people tend to buy things that they don't need. And most of them are trendy pieces. For me, I always wear black, navy blue, white, brown, and that's it. I can wear a pink suit or a pink dress, but I know for sure I'm not going to wear that dress all the time. So that's why I stay away from trendy pieces. Don't buy things just for the sake of buying. Don't buy a glittery outfit if you're not going to use it often. Just don't do that. Number 4 has to do with paying for everything. People pay to clean their cars. People get their nails done every single week. People eat more than 3 times. People eat out 3 times a week. People hire other people to clean their houses for them or to cut the grass for them. If you are broke, do not buy things or do not purchase services that you can't afford. Even if you can afford, it doesn't mean that you should do it, especially when you're trying to get out of debt. Oops, sorry. Number, what's it called? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Do not spend more than your income, more than 50% of your income on luxuries. Don't purchase yourself that expensive flight. Don't buy yourself the new Gucci shoes when you literally don't have the money for it. Or you do have the money, but you have to work so much for it. So don't buy things that are luxury and you'll be good. All right. And this is for the people who are saving the coin, people who are trying to get by. This is what you shouldn't do. Number, what's it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Coming from a real estate agent. I was a real estate agent and I saw so many people purchasing houses that they are barely pre-approved or that the bank approves. I've seen people who've been pre-approved for $300,000 and then they get a house for that And people are like, well, I get a pre-approved by this bank. That means that I'm able to afford a house like this. Well, you need to take into consideration other aspects of that home, such as maintenance, such as trying to get yourself buying new equipment. What if the roof is coming out and you need to replace it? What if you need to buy what if you need to buy a new toilet, get yourself a new cabinet? Like, people do not understand that when you're purchasing a house, you're purchasing other things that you don't take into consideration. So if you are only pre-approved for $300, you shouldn't get a house for $300,000. I would recommend for you to get a house in the 250 range or 200,000 range, because you have room to play, you have room to be a little bit more flexible with your finances, and you don't want to be tied up into a house, because then you can't purchase other investments that will help you and your family. All right, and last but not least, it's not spending time on your financial goals. So I read the book The Millionaire Next Door, and this book is such an incredible book because it does have a lot of research on millionaire people. And most millionaire people are your average, everyday individuals who don't really have big businesses, or they don't have an income that is too high. And the millionaire next door are these individuals that spend a little bit of their time with their finances. So if you don't spend time with your finances, that means that you're not going to be able to be a millionaire. And the more time you spend with your financial goals and exactly what you want and what you need, you're more likely to become a millionaire, or someone who's self-sufficient, or someone who's financially independent. So here's what not to do. This is what you shouldn't do when you're trying to get by, when you're trying to pay your debt, when you're trying to do your best. Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast episode, and I hope you get a little bit of what it feels to learn more about finances. And especially, I've seen so many people out there that are living life and do not understand that they are living above their means. All right, it doesn't matter how much you make. What matters is how much you're willing to save and invest. That's what's going to save you from anything. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.